everybody, I am Mohib, your trainer for this entire free Django series. You're watching me on Code with Mohib YouTube channel. Hope you have subscribed my channel and shared with your friends. In the last video, I talked about URL dispatcher inside project, but in this video, I'm talking about URL dispatcher inside an application. How to create a URL inside an application. Without wasting much time, let's get straight into today's class. So what I have to do is that in today's lecture, we will talk about how to create a URL dispatcher inside an application. In the last lecture, if you remember, we created a URL dispatcher or URL module inside project. If we create or if we use URL dispatcher inside a project, then it becomes a bit dependent application. That means that our application will be dependent to the project. In case we transfer our application to another project, then we have to bring some changes in the URL module of the project as well. But in today's lecture, we are going to talk about how to make a URL dispatcher inside application. So writing a URL dispatcher inside project makes a project a bit dependent. Now to make the project less dependent, then we use URL dispatcher or URL module inside an application. This approach increases the independency of the application inside project. So there are some benefits using URL dispatcher inside application. The first benefit is that it reduces the dependency of application. So it means that once you create your application and you want to transfer your application from one project to another project, then you don't need to bring some changes in the URL module of the project, but simply all code and all URL are written inside the URL module of the application. So there is no need to bring some changes inside the URL module of the application. The second benefit of using URL dispatcher inside application is that it enhances application performance. It enhances the application performance. And the third one is that it increases the reusability. It increases the reusability of application. And this is the third benefit of using a URL module inside an application. Now the point comes here that how should we or how can we use the URL dispatcher inside an application? It is quite simple. The first thing is that you create a URL module inside application. Create a URL module inside application. The second thing is that add a URL pattern to the function. Third one is that we add the URL dispatcher or we add the URL module of the application inside our project. Map the URL of application inside project. It is quite simple once we do our project. So to this, how it is done, so let's first make our project. So what I have to do is that here I'll create one folder and I call this Django project, and inside this project I'll create my application. Now for doing that one, I'll open my Visual Studio. So to do that, I go to View and open Terminal. Inside Terminal first, now you can see that I am inside this address, C users and hi, and then I have to go to CD desktop. I'm now in the desktop location. The next thing is here that I have to change the directory to Django project. To do that one, I just type cd Django project. Now I'm inside Django project folder. Now here I create my project, and that project I'll call this online shopping. To create a project inside Django, simply type Django -admin start start project and online shopping. I'll call this as online shopping, and the project will be created, and you can see that inside this one there is an online shopping project. Now inside online shopping project, I have the inner project folder, which is online shopping. Now here I have to create my applications, because I am running the manager.py file of my project. So I have to come inside the project, and I have to run this file. To do this, I just go to, or I just change the directory into cd online shopping. Now I'm inside online shopping project. Now here you can say that I have access to manage.py module of my project. Now what I'm doing is that now I can run my command to create application. I'll create two applications, one by the name of customer, and then the second one I'll call as product. If you want, you can make even more applications inside your project. So I'll create two applications, one customer and the second is products. So to create application, I type python manage.py start app, and I call this customers, and you can see that the customer application is created, and the second I want to create products. So I create two applications inside my project, python manage.py start app products, and you can see that I have two projects inside my application. I have two applications inside my project. Now I have to open this one. To open that one, I just go to file and open folder. The folder that is needed is, I have to go to desktop, and I select Django project. Inside Django project, I have online shopping, and I open this one, and you can see that my application, my project, along with the two applications are opened. So here I have my customer application, and the second I have product application, and this is the inner project folder, if you can see this one. Now we have to install our applications, the customer application and the product application. As you can see that I have a customer application, and the second application I have is products. So what I have to do is that I add both applications, or I configure both applications inside settings.py file of the project. Now here I have to add both applications. To do that one, I simply open this and go to install_apps, and here I have to add both customers and products. So the first one is customers, and the second project is products, and there are two applications that I have added. The first application is customers. I have added, this is the customer, and the second application is product, and I have configured or added my two applications, customers and products, inside my project. Now the second step is here, that is, you can see that this is my project. Inside project I have urls.py module, but inside my applications, the first application, I don't have url.py module, and the second application as well, I don't have the urls.py module. So what I have to do is that I add one urls.py module here, and the second I will add here urls.py module here, and these are called URLs, or URL dispatcher, or URL modules inside application, and this is inside our project. But these two, we have to create them inside our application, the customer application and the products application. So what I'm doing is that I'll create these two files, these two modules, like URLs inside customer and URLs inside my products application. So simply I right click on my application and I create a file. simply I right click on this one and create new file, and I call this urls.py. urls.py I created, and again here inside my project, inside my application products, I right click and go to my new file and type urls.py, and you can see that we added URLs here and as well URLs here. So inside the URLs, what we have to write is the URL patterns, that's the variable, and inside URL pattern we write the path module, path function as we have here. And you can see here also we have the URL patterns path. The first one is the URL and the second one is the module name or the application name we have. So exactly the same thing we have to write both inside this one and inside my urls.py of my both applications. And this path function is located inside Django.urls module of my Django framework. So here I write that code, that is URLs pattern, URL patterns. This is a list type, and inside this one exactly the same thing that we have here, that is URL patterns. We have a path function, and we can create as well here, that is a path, and in this path we can write our URLs and also module name. But this path is inside from Django.urls import path. We have to import this function, and the same code I have to write inside my urls.py file of my product. So without wasting time, I'll copy this code and come here and I'll paste it, and I added the same code here inside my urls.py module of my application. That's simple. Okay. What we did was that we created urls.py module both in both applications. Now we create our functions inside our views. We can create our functions, and then inside URL dispatcher or URL file module of application, we make the URL mapping for the function. So to write that one, what I'm doing is that I'll copy this one, I'll copy this complete structure, or I'll take a snapshot of this one, and I'll show you through a complete demo how to write them or how to follow these steps. So now you can see that I have copied my, I have taken a snapshot of my project, and I would like to explain what I'm doing here, and then we will, after explaining this one, we'll jump into writing the code part of this one practically. So the first thing here is that I'll open, this is my customer application, and this is my products application, I'll open the views.py module, and inside views.py module I write my function. For example, I write diff show customer info. The first parameter is request, and inside this one I write return http response. And inside this one I can write whatever I like. For example, I write welcome customer. So later we'll talk about this on how to create the exact application. The customer name will come here once the user wants to order something, order any products. Then he or she can create a username, and he or she can create an account, and then through account he or she can order any product he wants. So this is the view that we have created inside our view function. But later in the next topic we'll talk about, in the next video we'll talk about how to create templates, and that is the exact or the real part of writing Django project or writing Django code. So first I created a function based view here. So that's inside my views.py module of my customer application. Now I'll open the URLs module of my application, and for this function I'll create one mapping. To do that, what I have to do is that I'll open this file. And inside this file, for this function, we create a URL pattern, that is URL pattern, URL patterns, and inside this variable we can create the pattern for, that is path. I'll write, for example, customer and slash, and the next one is, it is inside the next one is that we have to write that is inside our views dot the function name is show customer info. That's it. So this is the URL pattern we created. This is the URL pattern, or the mapping, or the expression that we created for the show customer info, which is inside views, that is inside our application. And we, inside this application, we can import these views. To import this view, simply we can type from customers import views. We imported views, that is inside customer. So this views we have imported inside urls.py. Then this is the code. Now what I have to do here is that I open my URLs of the project, URLs of the project. So inside URLs of the project, what I have to do is I write like this. Inside this one, we have a code that is URLs, that is URL patterns, and this is a kind of list. As you have seen the last video, and the previous video, we have also talked about this one. So path, inside path, I'll create one URL for this one. I write, for example, info, customer info. I'll write customer info and slash. And the next one, the second parameter, if you remember from, if you have watched my previous video that I talked about view, if you remember, the path function. The path function, we say that path function, the first parameter is route, the second one is view, the third parameter is keyword arguments. That's keyword arguments. That the fourth one is name. We talked about the first one, and the second we say that inside view we can write the function name, and or you can write the include function, or you can write as underscore view function. So in the previous video, if you have followed that one, or if you have watched that one, we have written the function name. But in today's we talk about include function. Now include function is used when we have include module or URL dispatcher inside application, and you can see that I have URL module that is inside my application. Now I want to map for that to URL. To do this one, I write customer info. It is this is the road, and now because I have a URL module inside my application, as I told you that it reduces the dependency and enhances the application performance. So for that one, we write include function here. That is the include function, and the include function, I write include. The syntax for include function is that simply we write I'll write here, I'll change the color to blue, and the include function is that simply we write include, and we write module name. That's it. We write the module name. And to remember, sometimes you can also write include and list of URL patterns. It is also possible. Some people they write like that, but in coming videos I will also write my code using patterns list as well. That is also possible, but in this one video I'll talk about module name. So here I have written the include function. Now what I have to do is that I have to write the module name. The module name is URLs. But this urls, it is not inside the project, but it is inside the application customers. Therefore, I have to write the customers dot urls, customers.url means that this is a module name, this is the module name, and this is our application name. Now you can see that I have created a function, and this function will return give a response, and response it will say welcome customer. And for this function I have created a mapping file, created a mapping that is inside the URL module of the application, and this is the URL pattern, and this is the root, and this is the address of the function or the name of the function, that is show customer info, which is this one. So the request will come to this function, and it will return welcome customer as HTTP response. In order to access this module, which is a url.py file of the customer application, inside the URL module of the project, I have mapped this as like this, customer info, and then include function. Inside include function, I have written the module name of the application. Which application? Customer application. So this is for the first application, and if you want to write code, or if you want to write any function for the product function, for the product application, for that one also it is possible to follow these steps. In order not to waste your time, I'll just write here the code, and then I'll show you how it works. So now you can see that inside views module of the products, I have created one function that is display products list, and it will get a request, and in request it will show the list of products. Of course, in the later videos we'll make the project, and through that project you can see it easily. And inside the urls.py module of the application, which is the products application, I have created or made a mapping for my view or function. That is the first row is prod, which stands for products, and the function name is display product list, that is here. Now because this function is inside my views .py module of the application, so I have used view, and we can also import that one. To import this one, from products import views, and from this products application we have imported views module inside my urls.py module of the application. This is the URL. Now we have created this one. Now what I have to do is that for this URL file or for this URL module, I have to create a mapping inside my urls.py module of the project. So for that one, simple, of course, do remember that use a comma here. So I'll write path, and here I'll write prod info, for example. It's any name you would like to write, you can write. So here I will write include, that's include function, and here first I have to write the application name. The application name is products, and the module name is urls, that's it, and I closed. So these are the steps that we have to do. So the first one, we have to create our project. Inside project we have application, install application inside settings.py file. Then you have to create modules inside URLs modules inside each application, and after doing that one you have to create your view, and for each view you have to create a mapping, and then for each mapping you have to write the mapping inside our project. Now how to run this application? For example, I would like to send a request to this function, that is show customer info, and I want to print or show the customer information. First we have to run our server. Once we run our server, what I have to do is the IP address of the server is 127.0.0.1, 8000 is the port number, 8000 is the, sorry, 8000 is the port number, slash. First one, you have to write this name, this root that is inside what? Inside my project. Inside my project, we have to write this one, which is inside our project. So first one, I have to write customer info. This is the first one, and later I have to write this root, which is inside what? Which is inside my application, I have to write this one. So the next one is slash customer. That's the way to access this function. Now, if I want to access this function, so to do that one, first we have the port number, that is the URL 127.0, sorry, 0.0.1, and next one is 8000, and slash. The first one, I have to write the root of inside the project, that is product info. So I write product info. It doesn't mean that you have to write product info. Whatever you like, you can write it. Names are optional. And slash, what I have to write, the next one is I have to write this root, which is inside my URL module of the application. So that is product. So PROD, product. That's the way I can access the function, or I can send requests. So this concept is called as URL dispatcher inside application. So you using URL dispatcher inside application reduces the dependency of the application and also enhances application performance, and at the same time we can also have reusability of the application. So it means that it makes it easy to reuse the application as many times as we want. I'll save this image, I'll save it, and through this image I'll continue my coding. So I'll name it as steps. So that's it. So what I have to do is now come to inside my application. The first one, I'll open the image as well. Through this image I'll follow the steps. So the first one, I write this show customer info inside my customers function. So come to here, and here I write show customer information info. I'll name it request, and the next one, sorry, we have to put colon, return HTTP response, and I'll just simply type here h1 welcome to customer application. That's it, h1. So I have to import this one. To import this one from Django.http import HTTP response, that's it. Next one, what I have to do is inside urls.py file, I have to write what I have written. I'll continue from here. So what I have written, customer and this name. So it doesn't mean that you must write this one, because I have explained this one. So through this one I'll follow the steps. So CUS customer and customer, and this is a customer, and we write views dot, and the name of the function is show customer info. Show customer info. We have to import this one from customers import views dot, and that's it. So sometimes, because of not getting error, it is quite good to copy this one and paste it here. It is the best practice, because sometimes you might have some spelling mistakes, and once you run your application, then you will see some bunch of errors and you will be overwhelmed. So this is the better way to copy the function names. So that's it. Now let's the second thing is here, that now I'm going to products application. Inside products application, I write my function, and for function I write any text I want. So come here, and in order not to waste time, I'll copy this one. I'll copy this function. Oh, it's not good. So let me write it. So diff display product info or product list. I'll call it product list request, and here we have return HTTP response, and in response we have, for example, we have, this is the list of products, that's it, list of products. I'll close this one. So we have to import this HTTP response. In order to import from Django.http import HTTP response, that's it. Now here inside the URLs we have to create the URLs for that one. I'll create it product slash comma, and I will write views dot, the name of the function is display product list, that's it, product list. And we have to import views as well from Django, from products import views. That's, we have import this one. As I told you, the best practice is to copy the name of function and paste it. It's better. So now what I have to do is that I'm coming to my application, inside my project. I have my URLs. So inside URLs, now you can see that this is the URL of my application. Inside the project, inside URL of my project, I write the mappings. So I write customer info, and then I'll include this one. So here I will write path, I write it customer info, and that is include. So include, we write customer.urls, then customer.url. We have to import this, and that is inside Django.urls, comma, include function. I'll import this one because it is, I have not written inside single quote. We have to write it inside single quote. I have forgotten to write inside single quote. It is inside single quote, sorry guys. So the second one also we have to do that one for the next one, that is path, the name of the application, and the name of the URL or the root is product list, and write product list. And the next one is, that is include function. Inside include, the first one is my application name, that is products.url, that's it. Now what I have to do is to run my application server, or I have to run the server. To run the server, I go to views and terminal. Inside terminal, I simply type python manage.py run server, that's it. So I run server, and it says no module found customer, because the application name is customers. So I have written customer. So what I have to do is I have to write customers. Once we save this one, and now Control C and run the server, and you can see that the server is running, and copy this one. I just press Control on the keyboard and click on this one, and it will select a browser and the page, and you can see that the server is running. Now we have to write the URLs. The URL is, for example, for customer is what? I have to write customer info, and then this is customer. So here I write, the first one is customer info slash cus customer. There's a mistake from my side. That's I have written cust info, and here that is inside my customer cust customer, sorry. CUST customer info, and here also I have to add T and hit enter, and you can see the application or the page is loaded, the function works. And now let's send a request to products. That is the steps are, first we have to go to the URL of the my project, that is inside that is product list, and then inside the URLs of the product, that is prod. So what I have to do is that I have to write so product list slash product, hit enter, and you can see that the request is sent to products application. And this is called how to create or how to use URLs inside application. So we learned about URL dispatcher inside application. This is enough for today. We'll see you in next video. Bye.